Hello everyone, and welcome to your second royal reading today here at MadWorldTarot. A very chilly MadWorldTarot winter has arrived, and I still have the Rebel Heart Tarot on the tarot table for this reading. I'm going to do a relationship spread, a Harry and Meghan spread, and the reason I'm doing it is because I was minding my own business, scrolling around on YouTube, and up popped Vedic astrologer Joni Petrie. She's a very famous Vedic astrologer. I don't follow her. I don't really follow Vedic astrology, but I am aware of her. For some reason, the algorithm decided that I needed to watch her reading that she did, a very recent one on the royal family. And she went very in a detailed look at Harry and Meghan's charts, their own individual charts, and she was emphatic, insistent from both of their charts that they would be getting divorced within the next 12 months, and she was pretty certain it would happen possibly even before 2026. And my ears pricked up because that's exactly the timeline that I got when I did that 12 months look ahead very recently on this channel. I thought, that's interesting that Vedic astrology is coming up with exactly the same timeline I got when I did a 12-month look ahead. She also had things to say about Harry and William, not reconciling. She had quite grim things to say about King Charles, but we're not going there. We're going to do a quick relationship spread. Harry and Meghan. I'm going to do past, present, future. Past is last year, 2024. Present is this year, 2025, future 2026. It's just a snapshot of where they are in themselves in terms of their relationship, what is going on with them, and just testing the water. I just want to see the vibes that were so strong that they prompted her to do this look. I don't think she dabbles very often in royal stuff. There's something made her go looking, and you get these little nudges. Like I got the nudge to do that 12 months look ahead. I hadn't done one for ages, and suddenly it was like, you need to see this. And it was a serious reading. Hers was a serious reading. My 12 months ahead was a very serious reading. It was very dark. It was very grim. Depending on how bad this reading is, I might in the next few days look to see how they're going to handle a situation if she's right with her take on Vedic astrology, and if my tarot cards were right. But let's remind you, it is just tarot, and it's for fun and entertainment, and it is all speculation, all my opinion. And of course, I just read energy, and there is a disclaimer in the box below. And so we got that out of the way. Let's see what the Rebel Heart Tarot have to say. Don't normally do these kinds of readings with the Rebel Heart Tarot, but there's different energy floating around. We've had sign change of some major planets, and it's all changing now energetically. Got the Hanged Man. That's Neptune. That's somebody who feels very stuck. I think they both, that's our underlying energy. I would say that they both feel very stuck in the relationship with that Hanged Man. And while they are stuck, and while they are probably going through the motions and pretending that they're still oh so happy and in their honeymoon phase, and Harry's just such a fox, and he loves her so much. She doesn't say she loves him so much. While all of that is going on, I think they're both feeling extremely frustrated. Hanged Man energy. They're also maybe starting to come out of that kind of love bombing phase. Hanged Man is Neptunian energy. Neptune has just changed signs, gone out of Pisces into Aries. You see things differently. You stop sacrificing yourself when Neptune goes out of Pisces and moves into Aries, and you start becoming much more self-actualized, much more dynamic and direct, and ready to fight for your own rights. Cut yourself down from that tree, free yourself, seeing things differently, seeing things more clearly. It's a very interesting energy. There is so much energy in that card, I cannot tell you. But let's go back to last year, Harry, and that's Six of Cups last year, and Meghan. Judgment in reverse. Six of Cups in reverse. Judgment card in reverse. Brutal energy, 2024. And of course, that was when he disappeared. 2024, he suddenly, on his 40th birthday, was nowhere to be seen. He disappeared for quite a long time, popped up in New York, popped up in Lesotho, popped up in South Africa, popped up in London, was nowhere in Montecito for quite a long time. I think she went and had a bit of a panic about the fact that he disappeared. Six of Cups in reverse it's a reconciliation when it's upright. And when it's in reverse, it's just feeling like you've lost contact with your past, with your old friends, your family, that the things that you might have valued as precious memories and stuff like that are out of reach. You can't go back into that same river. You can't reconcile with your family. You can't find your old friends. You can go knocking on doors, as he has done recently in London. But that was the moment when he realized that he lost very precious things. He'd lost his family connection. He'd lost his old friends, all thanks to her. And it's also a card of harmony and love and reunion, the Six of Cups, when it's upright in reverse. He wasn't interested in reconciling with her. He was done with her, felt that she had really messed up his life. That's what's coming through for me. She had an even worse card with the Judgment card in reverse, because this is really feeling that you are condemned at some level when it's in reverse. Condemned to be stuck. Our Hanged Man there. No way out for her. Of course, if she jilts him and sails off, she'll never hear the end of it. She will be crucified, metaphorically speaking. And the Hanged Man is that kind of energy. By the way, a sacrifice kind of an energy. She dumps him and goes off with a billionaire. She will never hear the end of it. And he will be the poor thing, poor darling, who was led astray by this wicked witch. That's how it will go. And she knew it with that Judgment card in reverse. She knew she would be condemned out of hand if she tried to exit the marriage, even though she might really have wanted to. It's being criticized, it's being condemned, but also her own sense of having made a terrible mistake, sitting and thinking, what possessed me? How did I get myself into this mess? Terrible energy for both of them. 2024. Let's look at now 2025. This year, this so interesting year. This is Harry's energy up here, and we have the Star in reverse, the loss of hope, despair in that card. Despair, ha ha ha. But Star in reverse, depression, misery, really feeling like all hope is lost. What is your point? What is the point of carrying on? It's that kind of energy, along with the Two of Pentacles. And the Two of Pentacles is trying to keep the bicycle upright, really, without the training wheels. It's that kind of energy of I've got to stay upright. I've got to maintain my balance. I've got to look like I know what I'm doing. I can't be all over the place. But it's putting effort in, having to put huge amount of effort into maintaining that illusion of balance. And it slips every now and then, like it slipped in that BBC interview when he had the big old rant about Pa and the security, and you could see how angry he was and sort of bitter and almost tearful. Very hard to maintain equilibrium when he's that depressed. We're talking about the marriage, and this is how to save face, how to maintain the illusion that they're still a couple, and that they're still a couple that's united and balanced and working at things. Two of Pentacles is very much about putting time and effort into something that's not really that big, but you have to keep at it. It's a busyness, maintaining that illusion. Herself down here, how's she feeling this year about her marriage? We have the Magician and we have the Knight of Wands in reverse. There is the illusion right there with the Magician card. That's the trickster, that's the PR card, that's the spin. We've got some spin going on over there with that card, just by the way. But this is the real spin. This is pulling something out of nothing, rabbit out of a hat, pretending that everything is fantastic. if you manifesting it, spinning it like crazy. And what she's spinning that this Knight of Wands in reverse is actually a Knight of Pentacles upright. Knight of Wands is Mr. Erratic, blowing hot and cold. It's Harry energy in its worst aspect of being very angry, very petulant, very unpredictable, and disappearing, as he did last year. And as he allegedly has over the years, even before they exited, there were moments allegedly, like when she arrived in that army tent at the polo with the baby Archie, one of her worst parenting moments, I think only topped by when she was in Canada with the child in the, if it was a child, some people say it was not a child, in that sling, and the leg was sort of dangling in a lifeless manner, and she was grinning at the camera as she was being papped, and that was a very bad moment with the two forlorn dogs. But the army tent dress at the polo was her worst moment with poor baby Archie. Again, if it was baby Archie, we're not sure. Everyone giving her, a real side eye. No hat, no food, no nappy changes, no nothing. There she was for hours and hours like a crazy person, and allegedly Harry disappeared after that. Lots of rumours of Harry disappearing. It's a long-winded way of saying that Knight of Wands in reverse energy is another Harry disappearing energy, going off somewhere else. It's just generally, and I'm not accusing Harry of doing this, but I'm saying that in general, the Knight of Wands in reverse can be quite a player. And I'm not talking about a polo player when I say that. So he, in the energy, there is the potential for playing away, while she is manifesting on Instagram that this is just the most perfect couple ever. So what's between them? This is horrendous energy. Two of Swords, that's a decision. And, oh, wow, okay. I think we need to take a moment's silence for the marriage with those cards. Hierophant is your marriage vows, is all of that, as I always say when it's appropriate in these royal readings. It's your commitment. It's your public declaration that this is where you are making your, putting your loyalty and your future. I'm not using the right words. I'm actually a bit shook, I have to say, energetically speaking. Hierophant in reverse. It's done. That's done. That's tearing up the vows. That's no more commitment. That's just not interested anymore. Don't care what I said, don't care what I promised. And the Two of Swords is, of course, a decision card. It's hesitant when it's upright, not knowing. It's interesting that it's looking like her energy more than his in that Two of Swords. Very her looking, in fact. And it's indecision, it's hesitating, knowing that something has to be chosen, a decision has to be made that's very difficult. And I was rambling on in the 2024 energy about how she would be judged and condemned if she was the one to actually pull the trigger on the whole thing and to say, I'm out of it. That's me knocking over my cheat and my notes that I always have next to me, if you can hear paper being rustled. But that looks like she's ready, or someone is ready. My sense is that she's the one that, at this point anyway, ready to actually do the deed, and to actually just say, I quit. How about next year? His energy, Five of Wands, that's a fighting card. Her energy, Wheel of Fortune. Okay. Conflict. For him, conflict in a family situation, it could be things like custody, struggles, battles. It could be fighting with the royal family, trying to get back into the royal family. It could be either of those scenarios or both, quite honestly, with that. It's really difficult energy, she gets a brilliant card. She gets the Wheel of Fortune. And the Wheel of Fortune is timing, it's luck, it's things going your way finally. And what might go her way is that she might do very well out of a divorce scenario, assuming that this does end in divorce, and right now it looks like it's going to. But assuming it heads in that direction, she might have some big paydays on the back of that. And we all speculate that the only reason Netflix is keeping faith with her is because they've been promised some sort of divorce deal. She's got her divorce book that she's scribbling away at. I think that if this marriage does fail, which it looks like doing, she might benefit out of it, at least in the short term, with that Wheel of Fortune. A stroke of luck. If she gets her timing right, then she's got all of these things that might go quite well for her, whereas he is the one who's really going to be doing battle. And he's going to be doing battle, I think, both with his own family and with her over all kinds of things. That's how it's reading for me. I'm fascinated to know what this Wheel of Fortune really means for her, but I'm getting quite strongly that it's things like a Netflix deal or an Oprah interview or another book like Spare, but this time from her memoir that we've been promised or threatened with for a long time. Big payday for her there. She's going to think it's the luckiest moment ever in her life. I just have a sense, though, that it might not turn out quite that way, and that's because I've got the Hanged Man as the underlying energy in this reading. And even though you get a new perspective while you're in that Hanged Man energy, it's still Neptune, and old Neptune can really pull the wool over your eyes and make you believe things that aren't true at all. And I felt quite powerfully motivated to say that today at the end of this reading. Thank you for watching. Definitely some interesting times ahead for the Parkles, and I hope to see you again tomorrow.